Jubilee principals are on a campaign trail. We do understand that President Uhuru Kenyatta and his team are today campaigning in Kitui. Chris Thairo is there for us at Mutumo. Chris, good morning. Good to see you.
A very good morning to you, Linda.
Tell me, what are you hearing on the ground? What time do you expect the president to be there? What are some of the issues that you think he's likely to bring up? And politically speaking, on which side do you think Kitui is aligned to politically?
Well, Linda, the president has already landed here at Mutomo grounds, and we're just waiting for him to arrive here. The grounds is just a few meters from where he's landed, where we are. If my cameraman Willis can just pan his camera so that we can give you a sneak preview of how the crowd has already gathered here, already waiting for the president. The president is about 200 meters from where we are. So in the next few minutes, he will be coming here so that he can address the locals who have already arrived, and he's been received by the local leaders. Remember that in Kitui County we have at least 3 members of parliament who decamped from the Wiper party. That is dominant. Wiper party is the dominant party here in Kitui County and joined the Jubilee. We have John Munuve, we have Mutambo, and of course we have Rachel Nyamai, who will be playing as the host member of parliament here and still vying or trying to contest or for his re-election bid on a Jubilee party ticket. Well, Linda, what I can say is that this county, Kitui County, is the home turf of the running mate for Raila Odinga, that is Kalonzo Musyoka. This is his home turf county. And remember that President Uhuru has now taken that fight to Kalonzo Musyoka's doorstep. From here in Mutomo, he will be heading to Kalonzo Musyoka's home now in Mwingi town, where he's expected to also address the locals. At stake is around 415,000 registered voters, going by the recent released numbers by the IEBC. So a good number of voters there. But this region, Kitui County, due to the dominance of Wiper Party and that Kalonzo Musyoka hails from this region, has been perceived to be a NASA stronghold. But what we've seen is that Jubilee has also been doing their homework, trying to do some inroads into this region, and at least they've managed to gain at least a few members of parliament, let's say 4 members of parliament from Kitui County, and they're all saying that they will be supporting the re-election bid of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But on the other side of the coin, it will be an uphill task for them. Remember that being perceived like a NASA stronghold, then contesting on a Jubilee party ticket, then it will be an uphill task for those members, even as they seek their re-election, Linda.
It would be interesting to see how this plays out. Like you mentioned, this is the home turf of NASA's Kalonzo Musyoka. He's the running mate for Raila Odinga. And you're looking at about, what, 415 registered voters. And like you mentioned, there are 3 leaders who defected from Wiper. But then the intrigues that we've witnessed in the last couple of days in Wiper, Thairo, with several leaders sort of keeping their distance away from Kalonzo, unhappy with how Wiper is being run. Could that work to the advantage of Jubilee?
Actually, Linda, it's very interesting because remember that a few, let's say like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, we saw David Musila, who is contesting for the Kitui gubernatorial seat as an independent candidate. That is after losing to the incumbent governor, Malombe, who is now defending his seat on a Wiper party ticket. And of course, the minority leader in the National Assembly, Francis Nyenze, they were quoted speaking in Kamba, saying that the locals here, they should re-elect President Uhuru Kenyatta. Reason being that they felt that in Wiper Party there is that dictatorialship, and they feel that this time round, then if at all things stand as they are, then they should rather just vote for President Uhuru Kenyatta. And what we saw next, although they came and refuted those claims, saying that they were misquoted, I think Jubilee Party, of course, will be taking advantage of such sentiments, trying even to talk more to the locals and trying to bring them more goodies. What we will be expecting to see, which are some of the promises that the Jubilee regime will be giving to the people of Kitui County. But interesting times, even as we await for President Uhuru Kenyatta to come here, to come to the grounds. We understand that he's currently having some a small meeting with the local leaders so that he can get some information in regards to what the locals really want to hear, what are some of the problems that are facing the locals here, and of course the strategy that he is supposed to use so that he can try to woo at least from the registered 415,000 registered voters, he can at least have a significant number that will vote for his re-election bid. Linda.
Wow, I'd love to know that strategy that he is basically set to use to convince the residents in Kitui to vote for him. Listen, Thairu, before I let you go, the Kamba vote, for those
Yes.
for individuals who are looking at the Kamba vote, especially now that the president is in Kitui, would look at it from the perspective of who is the Kamba kingpin. And interestingly so, the president is in the home turf of Kalonzo Musyoka. But then you also realize there's a tough, sort of a tug of war between Kalonzo Musyoka and Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, who is more popular, who is the kingpin in the region. How do you see this playing out today?
Well, Linda, what I can say from where I stand is that Kalonzo Musyoka still remains the undisputed political kingpin of the Ukambani politics, even as we have the likes of Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua coming up, and of course other leaders like Johnston Muthama, who has tried actually to differ directly and openly with the party leader, and even we saw that after the quarrels between him and Kalonzo, he actually was forced not to contest for his re-election bid for the Machakos senatorial seat. But interesting is that we see that the former cabinet minister for water, that is Charity Ngilu, she's now been forced to come back home and now join hands with Kalonzo Musyoka, since she's contesting for the Kitui gubernatorial seat on a NAC party ticket. Now, if at all Ngilu, who has during the 2013 had joined hands with the Jubilee leaders, then when he fell out with the Jubilee leaders, he was forced to come back home and join hands with Kalonzo Musyoka. That goes ahead to show that Kalonzo Musyoka still has that say when it comes to the politics of this region. And the locals here and some leaders perceive him as the voice of the Kamba when he goes out there even to campaign for the presidential flag bearer of NASA, Raila Odinga, and of course also campaigning for himself because it's one ticket. And as I said earlier, it will be an uphill task for those who have decided not to join Jubilee, not to remain in Wiper, but join Jubilee. But they have been branded as tumbocrats. But let's see how they will really pull that out when it comes to their campaigns, even as we head to the August 8th general election. Interesting times, Linda.
Yeah, clearly, very interesting. Tumbocrats, okay. Thank you so much, Chris Thairu from Mutomo in Kitui. We'll cross over to you again at the top of the hour just to listen into what will have happened between now and then. Thank you so much, Chris Thairu. So Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, is campaigning in Kitui. We do know that NASA principal Raila Odinga is in Migori.